Welcome to a short tutorial on developing use case diagrams using StarUML. StarUML is an open source and free product, hence it's available to anyone who would like to learn about UML diagramming. Coming to a minute on adaptive processes. Adaptive is world's one of the leading requirements engineering solutions organization. It provides products, consulting and trainings in requirements engineering. Adaptive has conducted more than 200 workshops in India, US, Thailand, Philippines, and many trainings on remote model as well. And it is also a partner to International Institute of Business Analysis, Canada, International Requirements Engineering Board, Germany, Scrum Study, USA, and OpenRE Foundation, USA. So let me just go to the requirements document first before we get into StarUML. So the first thing that the requirements engineer needs to do is actually to put the requirements in a way that it is amenable for modeling. So first thing we do is since it's for our product GRC Perfect and we have many modules. So first thing we do is to put a category saying in which group of requirements it comes. So we have requirements with respect to project management, security management, competency management, compliance management. So this requirements falls into project management category. In that it falls again into the schedule management. So that's why we have put the sub-module as schedule. And then we start writing about the features. So one of the very key feature for any module would be to create the particular record. So we have create schedule, import schedule, update schedule, view schedule, export schedule to Excel, and add defects to schedule. And some of them, if you see, these are mandatory operations, they have to be done, whereas some of them are optional. So for example, an user may not export schedule to Excel. It's an optional activity for the user. Then we indicate who can do this activity. So for example, here create schedule can be done by PM, and the first three activities only the PM can do, whereas the rest three activities can be done by the project manager, delivery manager, or the developer. And as and when we identify a feature, we have to identify, is there some kind of a component or reusable requirement which we can use. So for example, before we create a schedule, we must identify the project and we must identify project team members, because when we are creating schedule, we are creating it for a particular project, and when we are assigning that schedule to a particular resource, we have to identify who are the project team members. So that's why I have put it here. And for view schedule, you just have to identify project. You don't have to worry about identifying project team members, and the rest two are similar. And if you see those features which are optional, they kind of start from another module. So once you view a schedule, you may decide to export it to Excel. Unless you view the schedule, there is no way you can export to Excel. So these features extend from another feature, which is what I have put it in the other column. So with this background information, we will move to StarUML and see how these requirements can be modeled using StarUML. So now I have just started StarUML, and as you see, I have this diagram ready, but I think there is some problem with the modeler. So let me do one thing. Let me start the modeler again. Okay, so I'll just evaluate and I'll just cancel this. So as you see, this is the home page for StarUML, and what we need to do is to go to model, add diagram, and you will see different kind of diagrams you will do. You can do using StarUML. You can do class diagram, package diagram, object diagram, composite structure diagram, component diagram, deployment diagram, use case diagram, sequence diagram, communication diagram, state chart diagram, activity diagram, profile diagram, and ER diagram. Of course, all of these are not meant for use by only a business analyst, because UML as a tool can be used both by by designers and requirements engineers. So some of them belong to designer category. The ones which are of interest to business analysts are mainly class diagram. If you see here, class diagram, then use case diagram, then state chart diagram, and activity diagram. So these are the 4 diagrams which is of higher interest to business analysts. So I'm going to start here with use case diagram because that is what I intended to do it in this session. So the first thing that you do is to click on use case subject and click on this. So here you can actually make it larger. So this is what would indicate your boundary, system boundary for this thing. So I will just call this as schedule management. So you can observe here, you can change the properties on this particular site. Of course, you can change the font and everything that you like. I'm not going to demo that because that is not of great interest to me. So as we saw 3 kinds of actors. So I'm going to put first actor here, which is my project manager. And then I have another actor, which is my developer. And there's another actor who is delivery manager. So I have already put the 3 actors in the site. I'm not very sure if there is a rule regarding who comes to the left, who comes to the right. In general, I would like to distribute the actors on both sides so that the diagram looks a little bit more symmetric. And in general, the thumb rule that I follow is actors who initiate an use case, I put them on the left, and the actors who participate in the use case, I put them in the right. So that means PM is the primary driver actor and developers and DMs are the secondary actors. But it's just a choice that I use, and you are free to use anything you like. Then we come to use case and we say, so this is create schedule. Okay, so as you see here, so the PM manages this activity. So we put a diagram saying PM is the primary driver for this particular activity. Similarly, the developer can also influence, but I think the developer cannot modify. So I would rather use the plain association line, which indicates that the developer doesn't modify it. Okay. Then similarly, we saw other use cases which were basically view schedule. Oh, of course, I made a mistake here. So what I said is the developer cannot do anything with respect to create schedule, but it can always view schedule. So I'll rather connect the user to the view schedule option. And similarly, the DM will get connected to view schedule. And then as we saw, when we are creating the schedule, we are using 2 more features. So what are the 2 sub features that we are using? One was to identify the project, and the other one, since there is a little less space, I will take these things to the side. And the other feature that we said we are going to use are, one second, identify project and identify team members. So these are the 2 features that we said we are going to use when we are creating the schedule or when we are updating the schedule. Okay, so I'll just take this. So this I can say create schedule includes identify project, and create schedule also includes identify team members. So this is how we can depict that relationship. Then we also had another use case which was to update the schedule, update schedule, which again only the PM can do, others are not permitted to do that. So I'll connect that here, one second. You have to be a little bit careful about these lines. Unless you put them properly, it generally doesn't come. And then again we saw that updating schedule would also include identify project, and it also would include identify team members. So both create and update will depend on this particular things. And then of course the PM also can view the schedule, and developer and delivery manager can view the schedule. Now we also observed one more thing, that once people view the schedule, they can do two more things. One, they can export the schedule to Excel, and they also can add defects to schedule. So these two are optional flows which all these actors can do. Okay, so I'll just do extend. From here you can extend here, and again from here you can extend here. So these are two additional features which the users can do. So for example, I can always say DM can, it's not required because I have already given the primary thing, so from there it is always permission is granted to the other two roles. So this is how we start developing our use case diagrams using StarUML. And what you can also do is to export this file into a diagram, so which you can save it in PNG, JPEG, and any other format. So I'm just going to save this as my diagram for requirements. So I'll just call it as use case diagrams, and this one is schedule management. Okay, so let's replace this, and then of course I can copy paste the whole diagram, Control A, Control C, and I can put it into my Excel option also. So I can just come here and say home, paste as picture, copy as picture. Let me see if it comes. No, I think there is some problem. I think you have to insert the image. I think, no, but generally it comes. So let me just try once more. Copy. Let me copy this. Go here and try to paste. No, it doesn't come. So I think the only option for us is to actually create the image and put it here. So if I go to D drive, GRC perfect, requirements, use case diagram. So I have my schedule management diagram which I inserted here. So this is how we created a simple use case diagram using StarUML. I would always suggest do have a mouse with you, because without a mouse any kind of diagramming is always difficult, and as long as we get our conceptual clarity, it's very easy to use any of these models and provide them to our stakeholders. Thank you for undergoing this tutorial on StarUML use case diagram. If you are keen to discuss with us, please write us a mail at info@adaptiveprocesses.com, or you can reach out on my telephones also. These are India numbers, 9880647936 or 9343794800. Thank you for. You can also follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So in YouTube, you type it as just type adaptive processes, and you'll get to see lots of videos that we have published on requirements engineering and many other topics. So if I just go to youtube.com and type adaptive processes, so you'll see this channel called adaptive processes, where we have about 50 videos that we have put. Some of them are our feedbacks from our clients, and many of them are on different topics, such as demo of open source tool UML, many of our product related videos, and some of the new trainings that we are providing. They are also coming to this channel. Thank you, and hope to interact with you soon in future.